we go, it's on the line.
Welcome back to another episode of Sketchbook Warrior. So now today what we're going to cover is the basics of the head, getting it nice formed, and just the bone structure. Going to work from the basic skeleton, the skull, without any meat on it. Then we're going to add some lines, define some things up, and then put the whole face all together. Right? So once we get that done, you should have a better understanding. We're not going to do anything technical, like anything hard, like the different angles of the head. Just straight on. 3/4, side view. That's it. All right. Before we get started, though, something I want to make sure that you guys are taken care of in the intro. Okay. Number one, you got to believe in what you're doing. Okay. You might think this kind of cool, you kind of hit and miss, whatever, but you got to believe. If you don't believe, your art will not get any better. So that's the first thing. Also, another tip I can give you is that before you even start drawing, say to yourself 5 times. Just say, my art is awesome. I'm a great artist. I love my work. Say that 5 times before you even get started. And you will be shocked at the results you get. All right? Hey, actually, I would love to see some work. So if you have anything you want to upload, send me email, comments. You help me get better, I help you get better. This is going to be a two-way street. All right? So if you guys are ready, I'm ready. Let's get into the video. Warriors! Let's sketch. Okay, so we're going to start with the basic skull. You need a good understanding of that skull in order to know the placement of things. Like you can see there, the eyeballs kind of give you placement of where the cheek lines start to come in, where the edge of the teeth are, And when you make those eye sockets, you got to understand that the eyeballs are slightly bigger than the eye sockets. That's what keeps them in. They don't pop out your head, And it helps the placement. If you get the placement of eyeballs right, you can get the placement of the other things right. A lot of times we like to put those eyeballs way up higher than the nose. It's not true. Also keep in mind that the top teeth are usually larger than the bottom teeth. As you saw the note before, the jawbone recedes back but likes to pop out. Also, those cheekbones are very important. They actually can help point down to a square jawline when it comes down to a male head. Now, also keep in mind that when you're looking at the spacing, it's quite a bit of space up on top of the head. Some people like the forehead and everything. People like to kind of go like half between the skull way down for the eyeballs. Another half of that to the bottom is the nose line, and half of that is even it's going to be the mouth. You get to learn a placement what works best for you. Also, the ears typically go in between where the eyes and the nose meet, so that's kind of spacing for that. There's a little bit of connective tissue right there on the top lip, between the top lip and the nose, so kind of keep aware of that. Keep that in mind. Like I said, those cheek lines are important. Placement is just very important. You see here in that 3/4 view there for that skull, the placement is still very important. You got to keep in mind of that center line for the face. It'll help you out in the first beginning. I like to try to keep all those lines level. So the same level plane for the eyes, the same level plane for the bottom of the nose, the same level plane for the mouth. You don't want to have those at different angles because that make it look really weird and placement is wrong. Because it's like, you just notice something's wrong with it. So the way to fix that is just make sure that if that the lines between the line placement between the eyes and nose and mouth is perpendicular to the center line. Just kind of keep that in mind. And just make sure that happens. Now, when you go to your next drawing, you're going to be working on the general muscle. The muscle that sits on top of the skeleton. That's what actually forms your facial features. I mean, I know the skull itself does also, but the muscles play a role. They actually help out fleshing out that form. It tells you where somebody might have big teeth or combined with small lips or vice versa. That's where that plays that role. So, and it makes it a lot easier when you draw those muscles out a little bit to kind of get a placement of like shadowing, shading and shadowing, which you get into later in another episode. But it helps you know where those things go. Now, once you get into the actual form, get past that, you gotta quite a bit of racing to do. That's why I gotta draw light in initial stages and just play with it. You gotta draw these things over and over again. You don't just draw it once like, oh, I'm an expert. No, you keep practicing. And you see, like, even from the side view there, things could get a little weird the more you turn the head. I might do another demonstration at some point where you draw like a barrel or a can, and you draw the face on top of that can. So it gives you an idea of actually how things look. And I always remember the spine connects to the back of the skull. That's where all the movement happens. If you turn your head, you turn it at the spine. If you duck it down, you duck it at the spine. If you look up at the sky, it's right there where the spine connects to the back of the skull as all the action is happening. And from the side view, get a good idea where the muscles sit and everything. And there's a symmetry there. Symmetry lines help with the placement of the mouth and the nose. Imagine somebody like wearing a ski mask or something over their face, and you can see where it kind of just make one straight line instead of all the little details and curves that go into the mouth and the nose. It just makes one straight line down, and you see how the mouth and the nose and the chin kind of sit behind that line. It just all line up with it. It's actually kind of interesting when you play with it. You're like, oh, that makes a lot more sense. Just play with it and you get the hang of it. Now also, the muscle and bone structures, like I said before, they help define where the shadows fall. Whether you have light coming from the top, light coming from the bottom, it'll show you. And always, you're a warrior, you just gotta believe. Now flipping over to the female skull, you see here, the same thing. It's got a center line there, eye line, nose line, the jaw. The bottom of the jawline, I kind of like to not go much higher than the teeth when it's a straight on shot. If they're looking down at something, yeah, it'll raise up. If you're looking up at something, the bottom of that jaw will actually, recede down. But you'll see the difference. You gotta kind of be aware of that. It helps you with placement, and it just makes the form look more believable. There's many different shapes of the head you can play with, but for now, let's just stick to this basic structure. You can't really necessarily break the rules until you know the rules. Now, you have cheekbones in the skeleton and stuff, but you see as you get to, further down the line, there's no lines there. It's just eyes, nose, and mouth. And a chin line there, but most part, you just gotta leave those lines out, because the more lines you typically add to a female face, the older that female face will look. So you might want to just leave a lot of that out. If you want to make it look older, go for it. You can start to learn placement of that. Plus, when you add a lot more lines, it makes it look a little more masculine sometimes. You got to be careful about that. There's some experts out there that really know how to make those facial lines work, and I'm not one of them yet. So we'll figure out together. If you got any more tips on that, let me know. I'm happy to listen to it. I'm happy to read up on it. Now, same thing with the ears. The same placement between the eyebrow line, the top of that eye socket there, and the bottom of that nose, where that meets, that's particularly the spacing of the ear. So that's something to, if you look at people like you just stare at them, not in a creepy way, of course, but just study them. It helps. It took me years to learn a lot of stuff. I learned it based on just practice, looking at other people's drawings, reading comic books, seeing different styles, and it takes years for me to get there, but hopefully we can get there a lot faster together. Now, you saw that note there. You can see the female jaw bone. It doesn't pop out as much. It just kind of falls back a little more than the male. So you don't have such a square jaw. Again, some artists will use that jawline and make it pop out more. If they know they're doing great, you know what you're doing, great. Practice that, but be careful, because that can make your female face look a lot more masculine. Also, the eyebrows typically sit on top of the eye sockets, right? Like that muscle and everything sits right at the top edge of that. That's why sometimes you have people with these sunken faces, eyeballs. You kind of see the whole circle of their eyeballs be, right there in between the eyelids, make a big globe there. It's like kind of weird. That's something to play with. You don't have to rework that now. That's something more useful, like when you see forms that are more slimmer or skinnier, not as much meat or fat on them. Water weight, we call it. And sometimes a lot of people use that for like, sketching people that have like, drugs addictions or something like that. So it's something to play with, use at your discretion, but just be aware of what it's used for and how it works. We'll cover some more of that maybe later on too. Now, you usually have to have bigger eyelashes for those eyes to define women. You don't need it, but it helps. And actually it helps with beauty and making them look a little more, they make them look just more feminine and attractive. That's what a lot of that's used for, is eyelashes. So you see that a lot in comic books, where some have some really pronounced eyelashes. Some of those not so much, but you see it a whole lot. Whereas guys, not so much. Even like you can see that where you have a side view, those eyelashes kind of make a weird shape. They kind of point out from the front and kind of point back from the back. And on the top, they don't show so much. I think when you make an eyelashes there, it makes, the top, very top, makes it a little distracting. We'll cover that more later. Now, there's a shadow that's common, that goes between that bottom lip, the bottom nose shadow and the bottom of the lip. Those are common. A lot of people use them. Just be careful, you don't need them. It's optional at this point. They're always optional, but they're fairly common. Also, female features usually don't have such pronounced muscles. It's like keeping it really smooth. Always understand, keep going, keep believing. All right, I'm back. Hope you enjoyed that video. Hope it was informative for you. Again, I'm not a professional artist. Just sketching out some things sounds of fun, as well as you should be too. So if you have any tips, anything you want to add to it, great. Happy to have it in. Again, shoot me an email at sketchbookwarrior@gmail.com. Also, you can leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe and click on that notification bell, and you can see more of my videos as they come out. Try to do the videos at least once a week, if not twice. That'd be preferable. Let's see what we can do, because I have other things I got to do. I'm a professional artist, just not a professional comic book artist. So we're going to keep having fun. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Here we go, it's on the 9. Here we go, it's on the 9.